You say ISIS, I say fucking assholes.
Islamic State's children have taken center stage in their latest propaganda video. The new video, posted on social media Tuesday, claims to show ISIS fighters cutting off the heads of 8 men said to be Shiite Muslims. Hostages were said to be beheaded in the central Syrian province of Hama after young boys led each hostage into a field before handing knives to fighters. The Syrian Observatory for Human Rights has said the video is authentic.
All right, so we've done a bajillion ISIS videos at this point already, and every time we do one now, I have to start the conversation by saying, how desensitized to this stuff are you at this point? Like when you see those pictures, are you just like, saw that last week?
Sadly, it's super desensitizing because they don't realize, like, to me, it's like the Kevin Hart effect. It's like, if you do it too much, if you're around too much, they don't care about anything that you do anymore because I see it every day. It's like, trailer, Kevin Hart, ISIS video, Kevin Hart, ISIS. Yeah. Like, just go away for a little while, take 6 months off, come back and cut off a head, and I'll go, oh my God, that's so horrible. Like,
I mean, this Get Hard movie has to be worse than anything ISIS has ever done, right?
Yeah, I haven't seen it yet, but you know what? Now I want to see it because I've watched all the rest of their videos. But.
Yeah, but I'm totally with you on that. That we've seen so much of this. Did you guys actually watch any of the beheadings or watch the guy burning, the Jordanian pilot?
I am a crazy person, and I did watch the burning video.
Yeah, I watched it.
I've seen worse. I grew up in Compton, and I feel like like some people like I can't watch it, but I feel like you need to see what they're doing in order to really, really understand what's happening. And as crazy as it is, I think by not seeing it, it makes it easier for us to detach ourselves from it and go, like, I don't really care what's going on over there. I don't know what's going on over there.
What do you think?
I don't watch them, and because of that, I'm not desensitized to it. I mean, it horrifies me every single time.
It makes me angry. Like, it doesn't desensitize me to it. It makes me feel like more passionate about what we should do about it.
Right, so is that the catch-22 though? Because on one hand, they put these videos out so that we get enraged because in a way they want us to bomb them because then that's
why we should bomb them.
And that's why we should bomb them.
Yes, they have this idea that they're supposed to, the idea is they're supposed to go with us into fighting them and we meet them in, I think, Dabiq, and it's supposed to be this big end of the world war.
Right. And that's literally what they want.
And that's what they want.
Right.
So fucking give it to them. Yeah. We go there, we meet them there. Obama gets on camera like a WWE wrestler. And he's like, I'm going to meet you in Dabiq, and I'm going to bring my drones, and I'm going to bring my bombs. And we meet there, and we fucking obliterate them, and we go back home and finish House of Cards. That's
you didn't know I had you with the neocon today, did you?
This is why Travon writes for The Daily Show and is not in charge of foreign policy.
Probably.
Because here's the thing. We do meet them halfway, and we do bomb them, and their recruitment efforts go through the fucking roof.
Yeah.
The worst thing that we can do is give ISIS more reason to hate the West and to get more kind of fundamental, intensely anti-Western Muslims to join this fight.
I think that's based on the idea though that you can actually negotiate with these people and that they're reasonable people, and they're not.
Right.
You can't like approach them like reasonable people. Like, well, if we don't attack you, then you won't. They're going to recruit regardless.
Right.
So there's propaganda that exists regardless.
It's a bit naive to think that if we can't try to empathetically understand where they are coming from and why their efforts are the way that they are, that we can't start to understand the psychology of what it means to be in ISIS. I think that the Atlantic article that came out, how long ago was that now? Maybe a month ago, that really talked about how religious ISIS actually is and tried to put you know, kind of an intellectual face on that, I think was incredibly important for Americans to understand exactly who we're dealing with, instead of just going, they're fucking crazy people. No matter what we do, they'll just always be crazy. There's a real reason behind what they're doing. It's not legitimate at all, but it's real, and it's there, and it's based on these early religious texts.
Right, so is that the place that we should be somewhere between neocon and like do nothing, right? Because that's the thing, that I'm a liberal, so I stand up for liberal principles, meaning I stand up for women and for gays and for minorities. So they're doing horrible things to those groups of people, so I want to stand up for it. On the other hand, I'm not a warmonger, so I don't just want to attack them. And I feel like that's where most people...
That's where I was before I got to the just fucking get
rid of them.
Just fucking get rid of them. It's like I spent so much time like, oh, let's take this approach and do this and this, and eventually you just see this. It's like, what are you gonna do? It's so infuriating. We're just like, it's easier to just go.
So then using your rationale of why they do what they do, then what do you do besides do that?
I mean, I think a part of it is to make sure that we're working with the international community to protect the people who are at risk of being injured, to protect Syrian citizens, to go into these places where people are, you know, and get people out if they are under ISIS rule, and help people seek refuge, get them out of the country, get them to the places where they're going to be safer. Granted, that's a utopian view.
Cara,
like, to go in
bombing is much easier.
It is much easier. It is much easier.
Push.
But if we can be there for these refugees, I think that that's incredibly important.
All right, well, what do you guys think? Bomb them, help the refugees. The truth is probably somewhere in the middle or something like that. Let us know in the comments right down below.